Alrighty, thank you for joining us again. Today we have a special treat. We have Haley Anderson, the president of SA. Welcome.
Thank you.
So I have a couple of questions, or a few questions. The first one is, what is it exactly that you do as president?
Well, so it's really interesting, actually. There are a couple of things that we have, like constitutionally, that the president, the responsibilities, appointing positions to our homecoming director, to Springfest, and certain of our programming events. Also have the power to veto legislation. So there's those things, but really there's a lot of stuff that's unstated that the president does, and it really is up to that person to kind of direct the overall vision for the organization. So there's a lot of freedom within that to just, support all of your officers, and then also just provide the direction and framework for the organization as a whole.
Sure, and let me ask you, so far in your experience, what have been your high points and your low points?
Yeah, so actually one of the lower points, before becoming president this year, I was a programmer. I was the executive director of Springfest last year, and with that, I understood a lot of the criticism that was coming from students, and we don't always have the best reputation as student association. Students are always going to have things to complain about, and I was really down hearing all of that, and I was kind of taken aback. But then I realized whenever I was pursuing the position of presidency that criticism is a great thing, and I'm glad that we have students complaining about issues on campus, because of that criticism we'll be able to use that constructively and change things and make things better and move forward. So sure. I would say that would be my high point, is to learn how to rephrase that and reframe things to change the overall brand of our organization and try to push ourselves forward and better our campus community.
Sure, you kind of have to have rough skin, as you would say, to get through the day and all the craziness.
Yes.
So let me ask you this, because I'm kind of interested myself in maybe starting a group or something. In TCC, I was with HSA, Hispanic Student Association, and they offer scholarships through that group, and so I was wondering, is there anything like that or possibilities like that?
Yeah, every year a Student Association actually gives out an endowed scholarship, and that's from our organization. As far as it's a little bit different than whenever you're chartering your own student organization. You're eligible for Student Association funding, but generally that's just used for food for your club meetings, or to help you go to cover travel expenses if you go to a conference or things like that, which we really encourage all students to pursue chartering an organization. We have almost 200 chartered orgs. As far as scholarships goes, you really kind of have to look into academic departments, but we do have that endowed scholarship every year.
And in your eyes, which one do you see as probably the most active groups in organization right now?
Well, last year the Association of International Students was actually our TU's finest organization, so they put on great programs every year. We actually collaborate with them and do co-sponsored events, and they're just really on top of things and creating a really great environment for domestic as well as international students, and bridging that gap between the two different demographics.
Sure. And how do you have a lot of interaction with these groups as well? Yeah,
that's one thing that I've really tried to do a lot more of this year is to encourage other student organizations to partner with SA on events. I think in the past we've seen SA as just being, it's that big group that does all the large programs on campus, but really what I want us to do is serve the student body in the best way. And if an organization has a great idea for an event, I would love to, let's work side by side on this event and bring you in. We have the resources and the funding as Student Association, but you have the ideas and you have the students behind you, so we really want to incorporate that more.
And I guess for students that are not part of any group, what would you say is like the beneficial aspects of being part of groups and getting involved and all that?
We're all here to get a degree. Obviously, you come to college because you want to pursue your career and get on the right track towards adulthood. But really more than that, I think that it's easy to forget, like, college is an experience and you're here for 4 years, but it's a really awesome 4 years that you want to make the most of. And the best way to do that is to join an organization, get involved, be impactful at the university, and really make something out of your time here.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm still looking I don't know, do you have any suggestions to where to go?
So actually, one thing, an outlet through Student Association, once a month we're going to have a Student Experience Council. So we're going to meet in the Great Hall of the Student Union. This will just be a time for everyone to offer feedback on SA events. So they can talk about, if there's a criticism you have, things you would like to see change on campus. We're going to have really a streamlined environment to talk to SA officers as well as campus administrators to really make that change happen. So if you're looking for somewhere to have your voice heard, that's the place to go.
Okay, fantastic. I think that's all the time we have. So thank you very much for being here.